Hi, my name is Jasmine. I am your headmistress here over at Heiress Academy, and today we're going to be talking about womanhood and how to step into our grown woman era. Welcome to Heiress Academy, where you're going to learn how to accept your status as an heir of God, find your purpose, and live a fulfilled life. Today, we're going to be doing that through our 101 series. This is the first installment of our Womanhood 101 series, and I feel like learning how to kind of step into that era is really going to push us into being able to do the rest of the basics for womanhood. So, 5 things to help you get into that mindset, to help you get into that mode, to help you start to think like, dang, I am really a grown woman, and I'm the type of grown woman that I actually like and I admire and I look up to. Like, I love me. That's what we're trying to get to. So number 1, the strongest women have strong boundaries. They have strong boundaries with themselves. They have strong boundaries with men. They have strong boundaries with money, with friendships, with family. And I don't even necessarily mean like restrictive boundaries where if someone does something to you, you come up with the boundary and do something. I also mean the standards that women have. Nothing speaks grown woman like having high standards and knowing that you don't have to lower your standards for a single soul. In the area of boundaries, what you're gonna start to do is think about the different boundaries that you can actually put in your life. Think about the different standards that you can have in your life. When it comes to standards with men, think about the type of men that you want to date, or even the type of men that you want to interact with on a daily basis. The type of conversations that you're okay with entertaining. The type of conversations that I was okay with entertaining with my guys, friends in like high school and when I was a kid are very different than the types of conversations that I am okay with entertaining now. I'm more comfortable with speaking up. No, that was not an okay joke to make. Oh, I didn't think that was funny. And just even slowly creeping into that comfortability is going to make you feel so much more like a grown woman than before. Back in the day, like when they used to have chivalry and all of that stuff, when they're like, oh, there's certain conversations you don't have in front of a lady. When I was a kid, or when I was like a teenager, when I was a girl, before I was in my grown woman era, I used to be like, oh my gosh, no, please, I want to know, I want to know. I no longer beg men to have conversations in front of me that they don't feel like is appropriate because I'm a lady. And it's like, I don't want you having a conversation with me that you feel like is inappropriate because chances are it probably is. It's being comfortable with having FOMO and instead of thinking that I have to be a part of every single thing, every single joke, every single conversation. Parents usually say, like, oh, you're grown when you start paying your own bills. I feel like you're grown when you start managing your money, when you start paying your bills on time, when you actually know what's in your account, when you're not constantly having overdraft. And I don't mean from lack of funds, I mean from lack of responsibility. Carrying your responsibilities and owning your responsibilities. That is being a woman. That's grown woman behavior. And with yourself, having standards, not thinking anymore like, oh, it's just okay. Like, however I'm acting, whatever I'm doing, I'm just accepting me for me. I'm doing whatever comes naturally, living my truth, just doing whatever. Having standards and keeping them. Because how do you expect other people to keep the standards that you set for them if you don't keep the standards that you set for yourself? So, coming into that responsibility era, like accepting the fact that we have responsibilities to other people, to our friends, to show up for ourselves and to show up for others, and also to show up but like not let people push you and try you. That's grown woman. Number 1. Number 2, which kind of goes into my last point, take care of yourself. When you really start to take care of yourself, that is when you really start to learn yourself. You start to learn your body. You start to learn the things that affect you and the things that don't. For example, I don't really eat dairy like that anymore because I'm lactose intolerant. And it took a minute for me to actually come to terms with the fact, like, dang, I really can't just eat ice cream and mac and cheese like regularly. That sucks. But now I don't eat it because I don't enjoy feeling sick. I enjoy taking care of myself. The more that you know yourself, the more your confidence is going to go up. The more you'll be able to kind of stand in what you're okay with and the things that you're not okay with. I don't like butter. When I was younger, I used to be so scared to tell people that I don't like butter. Now I can tell people and just laugh at it because people think that it's funny, but I don't like the taste of buttery things. And I've learned how to phrase it in a way that people understand. Because I used to say, like, oh, I don't like butter. And they'd be like, but butter's in everything. Like, what do you mean? But the taste of butter, I don't like. But that's coming into your grown womanhood, is learning how to learn yourself and know yourself and be able to speak about yourself confidently because you've taken the time to learn those things. Like, you know, those super romantic shows and movies where it's just like, oh my gosh, the guy knows her so well and knows when she's feeling down or when she's feeling stressed. And he just knows her favorite flowers and he knows her favorite scent and her favorite foods. Do you know that about yourself? Do you have that love for yourself? The more that you dive into that love for yourself, the more that you're going to learn how to love yourself. And when your belief and your value goes up, your value in the world goes up. The people that everyone is valuable in the world, let me say that. But the people that are owning their territory and their space, the reason that people feel like they're that valuable is because they believe they're that valuable and they can step into spaces and you can feel that energy. Because if you feel that about yourself, then it's like, dang, maybe there's something I need to pay attention to. But how are you going to do that if you're not taking care of yourself? Unfortunately, it reflects you. We try to act like how we act, and if our hygiene is off and if we're looking a little frumpy, like, oh, that's not really gonna, or shouldn't, like, oh, it shouldn't change how people view me. It shouldn't change how people treat me. It shouldn't. We should treat everyone the same and we should be treating people with love. But that is an impression that does get connected to how the world values you, not how God values you, because you could look crazy 24/7 and God would still be like, yeah, that's my daughter. But at the same time, like, that's going to change how the world values you. Number 3, go after your goals again. There's nothing more grown woman than actually having goals and actually knowing what you want to do in life and going after that and achieving things. And it feels so great when you actually achieve the things that you're trying to achieve. So set the goals again. Set the fitness goals, like set your career goals, set your personal goals and your goals to have relationship with God. Stop being scared to set your goals. We get so scared when we fail ourselves over and over and over again. Our confidence goes down, our confidence in ourselves goes down. But it's so important to be able to set those goals, set small ones that you can take little steps for. And once you start to achieve a lot of goals, you're going to want to set more goals, bigger goals, because achieving goals is fun. Number 4 is connect with people. We have lost our human connection. But you know how, like, if you look back at like the sitcoms that we used to watch, people had friendships, people were connected with family, people were connected with their coworkers. And I just feel like that just screams grown woman, like having your own set of friends, even if they're all like spread out and it's not like a friend group, like having people that you can go to and that you can talk to and that you're pouring into your life. They're pouring into your they are pouring into your life and you are pouring into their life and having that type of relationship. And there's going to be times where you're pouring into them more than they're pouring into you and vice versa. But just like being okay with that relationship. I think that friendships are so grown, like actual genuine friendships that are like your besties. Like I feel like that's so grown. And being able to talk to humans without feeling scared is also so grown. And so learning how to break that social anxiety, learning how to push past the introvertedness, learning how to like just live in the world and see everyone as God's kid. And like if everyone's God's kid, like I'm God's kid, you're God's kid, and so we're all cool. And number 5 is to embrace it. Things start to change when your identity starts to change, when your belief in who you are starts to change. And so if you're still like, oh, but I just feel like I'm 12, I still feel like a kid, or like, I don't know, I just don't know what I'm doing in life, and you're moving around world like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, your energy is going to reflect that, your feelings going to reflect that, and your subconscious mind is going to be rehearsing that over and over and over. It's going to try to confirm that belief. But when you're like, I am a grown woman, when you do grown women things, you're like, wow, like I am so grown. Like, wow, I really handled that. Like, wow, I'm adulting and I'm adulting well. You embrace that journey and you embrace, like, wow, I am going to be exactly who I said I'm going to be. I'm going to set standards. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to build relationships with friends and families and coworkers and strangers. And I'm going to have some goals again. You're going to feel so much more grown. But you cannot feel grown if you still are declaring that you're a child, if you're still telling everyone that you're a child. You're not. And I'm so excited, as I always am, but I'm so excited to see you step into that era because it's so much fun. Like there's nothing more fun than being grown. And there's like cute, whimsical things that you can do to be grown. Like I just feel like being able to like sip out of a wine glass, even if it's not wine, but to like have my own, like my glassware collection, I love. And having that just feels so grown to me. Like there's cute, whimsical things you can do to feel grown, but like identity wise and embracing and like feeling grown on the inside instead of just feeling like you're acting grown, that is going to come with the tips from this video. So let me know what your favorite one is and let me know what you do that makes you feel grown. I love you guys. I'm going to see you next week. We're going to be talking about refinement basics, and what we're going to be talking about next week is purpose. Unless God switches that up, because he could do that. But what's planned in my agenda is for us to talk about purpose. So I hope you enjoyed Womanhood 101, the episode of stepping into your grown womanhood. And I'll see you guys next week. Love you.